friends on YouTube. Paul here. Psalm 45, verse 1. My heart is inditing a good matter. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. My name is Paul. I'm a Navy veteran. I served between 1971, August, and 1975, September. Let's talk about trauma, suffering, and the Lord's Prayer. Let's ask first of all, what is trauma? What is suffering? What is the Lord's Prayer? Well, recall who the teacher is in this. The Holy Spirit, not me. So ask for the Spirit. In a dream, the Lord came to me some years ago, and he said, tell the children I want them to take their place. And then toward the end of the dream, he said, as the children understand the Lord's Prayer and make it their own, it will enable them to take their place. Well, let's shuck down to the cob here. We own trauma. We own suffering. But now it's time to own something else. Who wants to own something else? How do we own our Father, which art in heaven? Hallowed be thy name. How do we own him? There's the healing. Understand is two words. Yeah, under and stand. Or reverse them. Stand under. Stand under what? Well, in the military, we stood under authority. Here, we stand under the teacher, the teaching of the Lord. In the military, we wore a cover to symbolize that we were under that authority. Well, we've stood under trauma. We've stood under suffering. Again, we've owned that. So get your bearings. It is a place of ownership, a place of suffering, a place of trauma. Incidentally, love is patient. Patient comes from a Latin word that means to suffer. And remember, charity suffereth long. Yeah, we've owned that. So this trauma and this suffering is a lot like serving out one's commitment, service time, so to speak. It's also, I'd imagine, like serving out a sentence. So how? Well, you've served it. I mean, you've lived it. And we'd have to admit, it has been a life. Yes, you've owned it. I've owned it. Now, time to understand it. Move on. Move on to a new place of duty, a new address. Some addresses are permanent, some are temporary. It's time for a change of address. Time for a new home of record. Or, if you will, time for a new duty station. We did the place of trauma. We did the place of suffering. And we've pretty much done the place of understanding it. So understand this. It's time for a move. A move to the place of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father. A move to a place of understanding the Lord's Prayer. Our Father. A place to owning the Lord's Prayer without being presumptuous. A place of owning our Father. But I guess it wasn't a stretch for us to own our dads, was it? So take a look at the Lord's Prayer, phrase by phrase, read it, digest it, study it, pray it, feel it, own it. We've owned trauma. We can own this. He said, take your place. I mean, these weren't my words. I'm just passing them along because he said, tell. He said, take your place. It's like him giving an order, take your hill. Take that hill. So own it. It's yours to take. It's personal. It's custom. It's healthy. It's from heaven. It's uniquely yours. It's got his signature on it too. So, a rose by any other name is still a rose. This is it. It's yours to take. These are your new orders. Take them. Questions? Comments? Please. I'm Paul. Thank you.